Welcome back, everybody. Just another Tech Phantom here, signing on to another episode of Phantom Tec Reports. So, Australia's about to do something that's either a bold step toward protecting our youth or a government-mandated trip straight into the digital dark ages. I'm talking about the social media ban for anyone under 16 kicking in this December 10th. Yep. Mark your calendars, because after that day, your 15-year-old cousin won't be scrolling TikTok at 2 a.m. At least not legally. Now, before we dive into the mess of policies, politics, and pure online chaos this move has stirred up, let's just take a moment to appreciate the government's marketing department. Because apparently a $14 million taxpayer-funded advertising campaign is needed to tell people that, hey, we're banning kids from social media. $14 million so that Big Daddy Canberra can pat itself on the back while showing slow-mo, shots of smiling teens, tossing basketballs, and looking spiritually reborn after their phones got confiscated. Because clearly you can't be depressed when you've got a basketball, right? Bringing us to the great December lockout. So here's the gist. From December 10th, social media companies like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter before Elon turned it into a midlife crisis simulator, will be required by law to verify the age of users. If you're under 16, say goodbye to your likes, shares, and digital dopamine hits. When you log in, you'll be asked to prove you're over 16. No ID, no feed. Simple, right? Except not really, because this opens a massive can of worms about data collection, privacy, and what exactly counts as a social media platform. The eSafety Commissioner, or as many now affectionately call her the E-Karen, has hinted that online gaming and community hubs could also fall under the ban if a minister decides so with a single stroke of a pen. Imagine trying to explain to your kid that Minecraft chat is now a restricted social media service. Sorry, Timmy, your digital pickaxe is too dangerous for democracy. Now, before I sound like I'm roasting the whole thing, let's be fair. Social media has been objectively awful for kids' mental health. Around 2012, when smartphones and Facebook started spreading faster than a viral dance challenge, rates of anxiety, depression, and self-harm among teens skyrocketed. And that's not up for debate. It's data-backed, peer-reviewed, and plain scary. The algorithms feeding endless comparison culture, bullying, and doom scrolling haven't done our youth any favors. So yes, protecting kids makes total sense. But there's a fine line between protection and overreach, because what began as a Keep Kids Safe project is already starting to smell like a Control the Internet project. The Communications Minister, Annika Wells, even said, "These laws are about keeping kids and everyone safe." Everyone? Oh boy, that word right there, everyone. That's where my spidey sense starts tingling. Apparently, this isn't a set and forget law. It's a we'll expand it whenever we feel like it law. Next step, a digital duty of care bill, meaning more oversight, more control, and more potential censorship. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending cyberbullies, trolls, or the guy who still thinks commenting ratio on every post is peak comedy. But once you give the governments this kind of power, it never stops there. We've seen this story before, most notably in the UK, where online safety laws morphed into outright speech policing. There, people have literally had cops knocking on their doors over Facebook posts. That's not safety, that's straight up digital authoritarianism with a pastel filter. So while this all started as a ban on 15-year-olds watching TikToks, it's now shaping up to be a slow creep into the censorship zone. And that's where even those of us who once supported the idea start backing away. But here's the thing, it's not just about ideology or law. It's about real kids who've been bullied to death behind the glow of a phone screen, and parents who never saw it coming because the abuse happened out of sight. Teachers can intervene in the schoolyard, but behind a locked bedroom door, online, it's invisible. That's the heartbreak that fuels this legislation, and honestly, it's hard to argue against saving lives. But what happens when the law grows beyond its mission? When saving kids becomes regulating everyone? Because if the net gets wider, what's next? Video games? The eSafety office already hinted it could include them. Imagine telling Aussie teens they can't play Fortnite, Roblox, or even Clash Royale because chat rooms are technically social platforms. Yeah, good luck enforcing that. You'll have a national uprising faster than a lag spike on NBN copper. But are we fixing the wrong problem? Psychiatrist and former Australian of the Year Pat McGorry nailed it recently. Banning social media might not actually fix the core issue. He warned that the problem people on social media have always existed. It's just that before, they were filtered out by editors, teachers, or just plain social norms. Now they have an audience. So if we pull the plug on social media, we might not solve anything, just shift the chaos somewhere else. He's also frustrated that experts like him weren't consulted during the policy design, because if we go through all this, enforce the ban, spend millions advertising it, and nothing changes, then what? Do we start banning Reddit, Discord, messaging apps? Maybe we'll all have to send carrier pigeons again, complete with biometric age verification, of course. The Phantom verdict? Well, so here's where I land on this one. Social media is a toxic mess for young minds, and I'm all for taking steps to protect them. But giving the government, and especially an unelected eSafety commissioner, the keys to the entire online world, that's a door we should think very carefully before opening. Because safety shouldn't come at the cost of freedom, and protecting the young shouldn't mean punishing the rest. If you really want to help, teach digital literacy. Teach kids how to use social media responsibly. Don't just unplug them from reality and call it victory. Otherwise, we're not raising safer kids. We're just raising more naive ones. And with that, peeps, Australia's about to find out whether this new law becomes a shield or a muzzle. What do you think? Is this ban a necessary step for protecting our youth or the start of a digital nanny state? Drop your thoughts down below, and if this episode helped you see the bigger tech picture, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to stay updated with the latest from Phantom Tec. Well, peeps, I'm just another tech phantom signing off from Phantom Tec. Thanks for joining us, and peace.